Okay guys, it's Thursday, it's after work, and doing a couple things to the Model A. So I'll just show you, this is going to be a short video, a couple minutes, but show you what's going on here anyway. Before we get to the Model A though, here's the 68 GMC. We got to bolt the hood on it tomorrow. And the box, we moved the box back in place, still got to bolt the box down and put the gas tank back in it. And that's it, but she's all done. All back together inside. See if I can get underneath here and film this. So you can see, we did this cab corner. Alright, this rocker was done. Oh, let's see what this even shows. I don't know if you can see that. There's the new, that's all new cab support. There's the cab corner in the background, so you can see it goes right up in there. No overlapping. Alright, and then there's the new front cab support. In there. That's the all put on. You know, all fixed up. Oh, you can't really see it. All fixed up in here. Fixed up all across the back rocker. Mike did a good job. What a good job. So, I know some of you guys might be like, "Hey Rick, are you still welding?" I'm still welding. But right now we've only got a couple jobs on the go, so I give them to Mike so he's got something to do, keep him busy. Right? He's my employee, got to keep him going. If I started welding, well then it'd be nothing for him to do, then I'd be sending him home. Well, that's no good, is it? So he's got all this side together too. You know, again. This side we did everything. Inner and outer rocker, cab corner, cab supports, all of it. I'm not crawling back underneath there. You guys get the idea what's going on. Well, she's all back together. So what I'm doing here, got the old AA body up in the air. I just put my new transmission pan on, bolted up the torque converter to the flex plate, and spun the engine over, made sure I had it on #1 cylinder. You make sure #1's up at the top, you got compression there, you know. And I'm going to drop my ready to run distributor in. Got the old distributor, looks like points, but it's electronic. So I'm going to drop that in, and then I'm going to probably run my tranny cooler lines tonight. And that's it. Then I'm going to call it a night. So I'm only really spending like an hour, hour and a half on the car. But it's better than nothing. And then we'll go hard at her on Sunday. Now what else here went on today was, I got the, not that it looks any different from last night probably, but I got the old Camino all pressure washed. She's off the stands now. I had her up on the stands last night there. And took the wheels off it today. And that's why it's looking all wet around here, you can tell. Pressure wash the shit out of it. Like, look at that. Just got right in there. Did it from front to back. Did as much as I possibly could. Just did all of it. So that's a good thing. That's a real good thing. So I'm going to get this car up on the hoist tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday. Going to get her up on the hoist and drop the gas tank out of it. A few things, get a few things out of the way, but the owner doesn't want us to start taking the control arms or any of that off. We're not doing that. We will drop the sway bar out and the steering rods across there, possibly the steering box. We're just going to satin black the frame. We're going to wire wheel it a bit more. I haven't wire wheeled it, but washed it. Now we're going to wire wheel it. We're going to satin black the frame, basically right to here. Cut it off, satin black it all, and then you know, this is going to be painted the body color all the way through. And then his inner fenders are all going to be satin black, rad support satin black. Do all that, put it together, and he'll take it away. We're going to texture spray the floors underneath. So even though I got under there and pressure washed them, we'll get under there now and we'll clean them up even better. And then we'll mask it all off and spray them, and it'll look nice. It'll look nice. It'll look really nice. It won't, obviously, you know, it won't look like a frame off because it's not a frame off. But if someone goes under it, it'll look clean, tidy, and that's all you need. Especially when it's just a daily driver. Why get too carried away if you're just going to drive it in the weather? It's just going to get dirty again anyway. And then we'll attack this trailer tomorrow. Well, I should say Mike will attack it. So that's it. That's what's happening there. So, yeah. Another beautiful day. The sun is out. Can you see that? Look how bright that is. Hey, buddy! There's my neighbor. He's over there. He's playing on his house. Big thumbs up, right, my man? There we go. The neighbor kids are awesome. They're out there, look at, they're playing in their tree fort, they're riding their dirt bikes. Oh, Mike and Brittany are my neighbors, and I tell you, they are the two best neighbors you can ask for. Very old school people, you know. They're young, don't get me wrong, but old school. Their kids are out there doing that stuff, not on computers, not on that kind of bullshit, just out there being kids like they should be. I love the noise of those kids over there. Sometimes Mike says to me, are my kids being too loud for you? And I'm like, hell no. I love it. They went away, actually, this long weekend, Thanksgiving weekend. They were gone away. And I was like, something's not right around here. I'm out there. I never clued into a day and a half later. I was like, I don't hear the motorcycles. I don't hear the kids. I don't hear nothing. I'll tell you, by the third day they were gone, I was, I don't know, it was bugging me a bit. But anyway, it's all good. So, hey, we're going to get on the Model A. I'm going to do a bit more work to that, and maybe I'll turn the camera back on here and show you what I do, but it's pretty hard. I mean, I can show you the pan here if you want. Had the old stock tranny pan. Right, this is a new transmission. I put a nice finned aluminum one under there. It's a little bit deeper, takes a little more fluid. You know, you can see everything under there. Got to head into Langley on Tuesday, so I'm going to take my yoke down and then I'm going to drop it off at Abbey Spring, and they're going to make me a dry shaft up for this car. And then I'm hoping, not next week, but the week after, to get her all wired up. And then the week after that, it's startup time. So we're not far off. Anyway, I got to get to work. Okay, so I dropped my distributor down in there. Put my temperature sensor there. Better place is probably put it in the head, to be honest with you. But I want to go ahead and I want to show you something about an oil filter adapter. Okay, so I got this Dapt, and this is part number 1024. There's several different oil filter adapters out there. Mr. Gasket is the next popular name, and the Mr. Gasket one, I don't have one here to show you, but they're really garbage, in my opinion. Not to knock Mr. Gasket, I do use some of their products, but when it comes, what this is for, if you've got an engine that had the old oil canister on there and you want to put an oil filter on it, this is the adapter for it. So I would stay clear of the Mr. Gasket one. It's kind of garbage. I don't recommend it. The Dapt is way to go. So you're going to take all the parts and pieces off. I don't know if we can see this underneath here. Let me try and film this for you. I'm upside down filming. If you can, I don't know if you can see this. You probably can't see it. But anyway, there's my oil filter. There's nothing there, right? It's empty. There's nothing there. Normally there's a plate bolted in there, which I don't have anymore because it came out when the engine got done. So whatever is in there, if you've got a spin-on filter, take everything out. So there's nothing there bolted on. And what's going to happen next is you're going to take this piece that they give you. They give you a gasket, right? I put a little spray glue in the gasket and I stuck the gasket to this. Now some people may put a RTV on there, whatever, silicone. I don't like to do that close up in there. I think if the silicone breaks free or something, might get into my oiling system. I don't know, just me. It's a gasket. Should work, right? Surfaces should be true. So you take that, and that's going to bolt up underneath first with the two Allen head bolts they give you. I recommend maybe putting a little blue Loctite on there, not the red, just the blue. So if you can visualize this, maybe I can do this like this. So pretend we're upside down. You're underneath the engine, right? You're underneath like this, all right? Except I'm turning this around. I'm not a teacher here. So you're going to put that in there with your gasket, that little blue. You can put that up on there like that, and then it's going to sit down like that, right? That's going to be on there. Next, what you're going to do is you've got this little threaded piece here. Now you can see the threads have got like teeth on them here, if you can see that in this video. And you'll notice that that's a quarter of the way and that's 3/4 of the way, because the quarter way with the teeth screws into that, like, you know, like so. Then what's going to happen is this piece has got a gasket, rubber gasket, comes off. Alright, so you're going to put that onto this piece here, and then after you do that, that's going to go down over top like that. Then they give you this nut. This is the only thing that is cheap about this kit. They give you one of these stamped nuts. I suggest maybe get a proper nut that fits this piece. You're going to screw that down, and well, like I said, I can't film and do this for you. You're going to screw that down there, and that's going to be on there, and your oil filter is going to sit on here. It's going to be it. I'll try and film this as I put it in the car. Let me get everything together and we'll see what we can do here. Okay, I don't know if you can see, but there you go. So there's the first piece on. So remember, underneath this piece here, let me get under here. This should have been done when the engine was on the stand, but at that point I wasn't thinking about it and didn't have it. So this piece, underneath this piece is a gasket. So make sure you put your gasket on. Then this goes on, you take your, these are Allen heads that hold them on, and put a little blue Loctite on them. You don't want that thing falling down. Okay? So there we go, there's that piece on there. Now what's going to happen next is I'm going to grab the other piece and then I'll show you. So let me shut this camera. So next is this threaded piece that threads in. And like I explained to you, when you get that piece, I showed you earlier in the video, a quarter of the threads, that much, go into that, and then it hits a gnarled piece. Now on this you can see, some may argue, but everyone has their own way of doing it. I put the red Loctite. You can see the red Loctite coming out. You turn that in by hand. You just turn it in by hand until you hit that gnarled piece, and it can't turn no more anyway. So I put the red Loctite because the last thing you want to do is have that thing fall out of there. It doesn't, now some people might say, well, the red Loctite, you can't get it back out. But really, why would I take it back out? And at the end of the day, if you undo them two Allen heads, that piece will come down with that. So if you wanted to, you could have put that threaded nipple in beforehand. But I'm just doing it by how the instructions, which I read to explain to you guys, say to do it. So I put red Loctite, so I don't want that falling out because our oil filter screws onto that. So now we're going to get the next part, and I'll show you here what goes on with that. So hang on one second again. Okay, so the next thing here is you got this adapter. Okay, so that, you can see there's a rubber gasket by my thumb there. That comes in the kit, and it pushes down around this gasket. Okay, so you put that on. Then this is going to go up on the engine. So let me get this up on there, and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so there it is. It pushes in there. Gasket facing in towards the engine, and it's a nice tight fit. Now, some people might put a little silicone around the gasket, some may not. I didn't. I chose not to. I don't like to stick silicone up and around those areas where my normal oil filter is. I'm just worried that if a little hunk breaks free, it might clog something. Could be wrong, could be right. Everyone, each to their own, so you can decide what you want to do there. You know what I mean? Weigh the pros and the cons. To me, if it's a rubber, if there's a gasket there, a piece of rubber, when you tighten up, it's going to squish up there. It should seal up just fine. But if you want to put some silicone, go right ahead. Next, they give you, it's kind of cheap and nasty. They give you this cheap and nasty nut thing, if you can see that. I'd be careful with it, but anyway, what you do is you put that on there, and then you put that on there and you tighten it up. Now on this, I would definitely put a little red Loctite on this thing too. This isn't the greatest. It's a 27mm socket, so if you're going to buy this adapter, make sure you got a 27mm socket to tighten this up. And then basically you're ready to go. I believe the oil filter is a pH8A or something like that. And there you go, you're running an oil filter. So you're not running a canister no more. So let me get this nut on here, and we'll get the hell out from under this car. Okay, there she is. That's what she should look like. Oil filter's going to spin on there, and away you go. Done. So let's take a look at the box. Maybe it says what oil filter. I'm certain it's a pH8A. I could be wrong. Again, this is Dapt part 1024. What does it say? Yep, there we go here. Dapt. We recommend that a Dapt number 1156, a Fram PH8A spin-on oil filter be used with this adapter. There you are, folks. That's it. So, got a little few things done. Spent an hour and a half on the car. Got my distributor in. Got my tranny pan on. Got my torque converter bolted up. Got my adapter for my oil filter in. Got my temperature sensor in. Got my oil sensor in the back. Good enough. 6:30, I'm heading in. I'm heading in. Well, before I head in, let's see if we got an oil filter here. I always hate leaving engines with open areas. What have I got here? Have I got an oil filter? Oh, look at this. There we go. PH8A. Fram. So there you go. Again, though, you gotta be careful because Fram is not the greatest filters these days either. They used to be good. I'm not saying they're not, but I definitely would recommend getting an AC Delco filter, which I think I'm going to do. Cross that number over and get a Delco filter. I'm not saying I don't use them. I do use them. I don't know. They're lately, not years ago, but lately I've seen a few of them breaking down. I don't know what's going on. You know how it is, guys. Something out there is really, really good. You like it. It's a good product. And they go around forever, and then times change and things get expensive and they start cheaping out on the way they do things, and well, still looks the same, still got the same name, but it's not as good. I run those filters, obviously they're here, but I'm into this car for a lot of money, so I'm going to put an AC Delco filter on there just for a peace of my mind. But it is what it is. It's up to you. You know what I mean? So anyway, there. Hopefully that was a good tip on putting an oil filter adapter on. That's about all I got for you on this Thursday night. So hey, it's always a good time and old time. And I'll see you Sunday. Remember that. Sunday.